For the Generation X of a besieged Iraq, this is what's become of beloved Baghdad. Saddam Hussein has gone. A new military power now has absolute authority on the streets. There's nothing to do anymore, nowhere to go, and a citywide curfew keeps everyone at home at night.
They call this liberation. What do you call it?
Invasion.
Two months ago, before the war, we brought together a group of students from Baghdad University. They were the nation's best and brightest, the future leaders of this country. But they had to be very careful about what they said to us. Ever present were minders from Saddam Hussein's Ministry of Information.
If you want to say something's wrong, you can't. True or false?
True or false? True and false. I mean, it depends. I mean, you would... I can't answer that.
Just because Saddam Hussein stood against them and said, no, I'm not going to be one of what you want me to be. I'm going to be what I am.
If someone of the Iraqi citizens doesn't like the president or he doesn't like the attitude of our government, he will say it.
Well, that was before the war and the end of the regime. So what are they thinking about now? We found them trying to make sense of a city in turmoil.
During the war and the bombing, there was no guards in this college or this department. That's why it was opened for the thieves.
19-year-old Haider has returned to the library of the School of English at Baghdad University.
We were helpless before, and now we're even more helpless.
Even as we speak, the looters are still moving through the campus. In the wake of battle, Iraqi civilians have turned on each other. Before the war, Haider displayed unflinching support for the only leader he's ever known, the man he claims earned 100% of the vote. Now you'd expect him to feel free to speak his mind.
Do you accept that he gassed his own people?
He what?
Do you accept that he gassed the Kurds?
He gassed the Kurds. Okay. No, I don't. Of course I don't accept it.
Many people watching that first interview with you might be saying, he's not being completely truthful, you're scared, you're oppressed, you're frightened to tell the truth. Were you being completely forthcoming with this?
Not 100%, no.
Which bit were you telling?
Well, let's say it was 90% or even more than that.
So which is the 10% you weren't truthful to us about?
I even criticized him, I remember that. I said he's not idle, I said he got his own negative points.
What Haider doesn't like is the presence of the new kids on the block. Many of them aren't much older than he is. You can see the contempt in his eyes at every checkpoint.
Is that it? I mean, come on, have you took a look at Baghdad? Have you seen how it became?
I have.
This majority. Are you proud of it? Majority. Are you guys proud of what you're doing here?
No, I'm proud that Saddam's gone to help.
You're proud of Saddam? Where is he gone?
Wait,
do you think it's worth it to pay all the sacrifices to change the regime? Do you think it's worth it?
Yes.
You're saying yes. What about you? What do you say?
Gas his own people in the streets. Obviously, he doesn't care about y'all.
So do you guys believe that we own mass destruction weapons?
we're here defending terrorism. Okay? All those civilians that died in the World Trade Center, you heard about that, right?
I heard.
Sure you did, right? Those are all civilians.
So what?
Those were all civilians.
Okay, do you know that we are suffering from the 11th of September each day here in Iraq? There are the same number of people dying here each day for 12 years.
Okay, and who was that? Whose fault was that? Saddam Hussein?
No, it's the embargo. It was the embargo. Today, 1 American died. Oh my God, that's a disaster. Today, 1,000 Iraqi died. So what? They are Iraqis, just like bugs or flies. Just keep myself pushed, because he wanted me to say no.
Haider, like many of his generation, did very well out of life under Saddam Hussein, spending years abroad as the son of a diplomat.
6 or 7 times.
His father was the first to admit Haider was sheltered from the regime.
He had a comfortable life. In the future, the change will not be drastic for him. He will have the internet and email, and he will have dish and have various canals of TV to watch. I mean, basically there will not be tremendous change unless he wants to be politically active.
They destroyed our country, that's all. What is it?
Hamza Hosni was another in our class from Baghdad University who couldn't find a harsh word for Saddam Hussein. Talking to her now, you get the impression not much has changed.
Nobody's perfect. You can't tell me that this government or that leader is a perfect guy, or any human being is perfect, but I didn't see anything from him. I can't.
Nobody's perfect, but didn't he torture people and murder them?
Okay. What about other leaders? Didn't they do the same thing?
But I'm asking you about Saddam Hussein.
Well, okay. To be honest, yes, maybe. We heard lots of stuff. We didn't see them with our own eyes.
I'm translating right now. It's the best job I can get. It's better than sitting at home for me.
When we met Uday Saddik before the war, he told us that Americans had a distorted picture of what was happening in Iraq. Their media, he said, was full of propaganda. 6 weeks later, he's working for CNN in its makeshift bureau at a Baghdad hotel.
Tomasz!
When Saddam Hussein was in power, I wouldn't even bring his name up on camera because I don't want any trouble.
Would it have been dangerous for you to bring his name up?
Oh, of course.
What would have happened?
Well, someone would have probably reported that I said something about him and I would have been jailed.
"12 years of economic sanctions have hardened this generation of Iraqis in their formative years. And when a coalition from a Western world moved in, they saw it not as an attack on their leader, but as an invasion of their home. As they see it, the Americans are big on promises, but things had better improve soon.
رسول انت وين هسه؟ بالمستشفى عافية شنو صار بيك؟
Dr. Maisa Zhu is 2 years out of medical school. In her short professional career, she's known nothing but shortages from sanctions.
It is a serious operations and we have deficiency of anesthetic drugs here. So sometimes we only give some kind of analgesics and we work under local anesthesia, which is not the usual way.
And in her whole life, Mace has known nothing but Saddam Hussein. Her university days were devoid of free thinking and talking.
Every demonstrations were monitored by the government. Nothing was spontaneous.
So did you feel free before to criticise Saddam Hussein here?
Not freely. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't do that. I mean, we're not allowed. I mean, you'd be afraid.
I like this one. He's always smiling. It's always America. Someday the whole world will be just America. To get rid of something, we're supposed to replace with something better, right? I can't see anything better here. Now here is Bush and Saddam. We used to have a country, we used to have a capital here, we used to have government, we used to have security, college, our daily life, our hobbies. In the past, we could go to have dinner, to play, to go to clubs, to have parties. Now we can't do anything. Just sitting in your home with no electricity, no pure water, no gas, no security, and to hear the voices of the bullets, the bombing, and the smell of the smoke and everything. That's it. That's our entire life right now.
I am pleased to see him gone, okay, but we've just replaced Saddam Hussein with a greater power, which is the United States. We can't get the United States out of this country no matter what. It's too strong for this country. It's too strong for the people of this country. It's stronger than Saddam Hussein.
In the confusion and anarchy of Baghdad, a generation of young Iraqis has scarcely started to look for a place in a new society. Their parents have not seen such radical change in their own lifetimes. After decades of tyranny and oppression, Iraq may be free, but the future leaders of this nation still harbour suspicion and distrust.
As in any society, the ones with connections with the government, the wealthy ones, were pleased with the situation. They are seeing now the buildings destroyed, the streets are burned. This is, I hope, a temporary situation. I think they will change their mind when they say that better life will be coming. But it's normal that wealthy students want that life because they had their connections with the regime.